So I owe y'all a bit of an apology. I started a channel, did like 2 months, and then promptly dropped off the face of the earth. Sorry about that. If you're new here, hello, I'm Zanny. I make content about cats, crafts, and mental health. And today I'm here to talk about what the F just happened. So I've been doing the BPD Bunch, which if you don't know is a very niche channel. It is all about borderline personality disorder and borderline personality disorder recovery specifically. That is it. The beginning, the end, that's it. And because it was such a narrow niche, it made making content pretty easy. Because it was either like we were in line with our mission or we weren't. And as much as I loved that channel and working on that show, and I hope to continue doing it for a long time, there's a part of me that kind of outgrew that because I don't qualify for BPD anymore. So it's not like in my private life, that's not the primary focus. And I wanted an outlet to talk about some of these other things, sort of like the steps after you have sort of graduated, I guess, from like earlier stage recovery content. But doing a channel with just me and that vision was kind of vague. I'm so used to putting together, I guess, this bigger production with, I set the deadlines, but it's deadlines with other people. And that it kind of made it easier for me if I was stuck in overthinking to be like, well, it doesn't really matter what I think. This is what I promise. This is what I'm going to deliver. And with my channel, I fell prey to the overthinking. I will be honest. I fell prey to the overthinking. And part of it is that it is a small channel. And it's not like the BPD Bunch is huge, but I think we've got 18,000 subscribers on that channel. And it's enough that it's easier to tell what people are interested in, what they want to know more about. And with a new channel from scratch, it's not like I haven't been making content. So just to be clear, I have been filming videos. That's the crazy part. I've been filming videos for the last couple of months. And every time I would go to edit it, I'd be like, is this any good? I don't know. And I would look back at the recent videos that I posted on my channel, and because it's a small channel, I'm not complaining about this, right? Like, there's not a lot of views on these videos because most people just don't know that I'm doing this, right? Like, it takes time for stuff to grow. But just the natural consequence of that is there's not a lot of information to go on. And I've heard a lot of people say, like, YouTube gurus, people, when they're talking about making content, that when you're doing something that's more like your personality and it's not a super niche down thing, the best thing to do is to just put stuff out there and find the things that resonate with your audience. And I knew that somewhere in my mind, but I got really easily overwhelmed. And then because this channel was also like a side project at the moment, I hope this turns into something, but when you have a list of priorities and you have something that's sort of close to the top of the list, but you can take something underneath and just switch it and be like, nah, this other thing is more important. I will do that instead. Even though maybe it's not really more important. Like, I don't particularly love laundry unless I have to do some kind of paperwork. And then, ooh, wow, that laundry's looking real interesting right now. I gotta do that. Basically, that's what happened with this channel. I would film content and I had all these ideas. I mean, seriously, it's all going to get edited down, but I probably have at least 10 hours, if not more, of just raw footage of me talking about things, doing things. And I just got stuck in, does anybody care about this? Like, does this fit the mission? What even is the mission? Part of it maybe is that I'm not totally clear on what my goal for this channel is. I wanted a way to reach people that were at maybe a different level than the average viewer for the BPD Bunch, and also something that's a little bit more specific to my personality, because I do feel like when I'm talking to people who I know are in early recovery from BPD, I am a lot more cautious about what I say, not because I don't think that what I could say would be useful to them, but it's that I don't think it would be useful to them at the stage where they are. Because when I was there where they are, I would have heard a lot of the things that I believe now, and I wouldn't have been able to understand the nuance because I hadn't developed that part of my thinking yet. And I guess I also wanted to talk about things that I don't think that other people talk about very often, particularly the nuance of things. I thought I had a really strong idea when I started, but I guess there's an aspect of vulnerability too when you, like, I go on a rant about something that maybe I'm feeling passionate about, maybe I really do think it's important. I think there's a fear that I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to get crickets, not just in the short term, but in the long term, that it will feel like I'm screaming into the void with no kind of reaction at all. And I think one of my goals in life is to try to use the pain and the things that I've overcome to be of use to other people so that they don't have to take the long road. I'm not old by any stretch of the imagination, but I am in my late 30s, and I do feel behind people, the rest of the world, a lot, because I spent pretty much all of my adolescence and early adulthood dealing with severe mental health challenges. So now that I kind of don't have those things holding me back as much, there's this extra layer of, like, I'm not hiding behind some of those behaviors, which is partially why I think they existed. Like, a lot of the over the top, I mean, I am a don't get me wrong, I am a diva personality, in the sense that I love to perform. I like to be on stage. I like to be bold, right? But I used to be almost like a caricature of that as a way to keep people from seeing my vulnerability. And it's just different, like being on the BPD Bunch, even though I put the whole thing together, it's like a group of people, and if something goes wrong or people are mean, it's not like that never hurt my feelings. When I first started the BPD Bunch, that kind of thing really, really hurt. And it doesn't bother me as much anymore. And I don't even think it would bother me that much on this channel either. It's more like the anticipation of what you don't know. So basically all that's to say that the Cliff Notes version is, I was a little afraid of being vulnerable with you guys. I overthought everything. And instead of pushing through and posting anyway, I just dropped off the face of the earth, figuratively speaking. Dropped off the face of the YouTubes. So my commitment to you now I'm making it public. So I have to stick with it. So my commitment to you now is that I will post all the videos that I have filmed. I have to edit them all still. But I will post all the videos that I recorded. And the one thing that would be really, really helpful for me would be if you're watching this video, if you subscribe to this channel. I know it's a lot to ask because time is one of our most precious commodities. But if you'd be willing to, like, when you see a video pop up, if you watch it, give me like constructive feedback, meaning even if you hate one of my videos, I'm happy to know that, so long as you can clearly articulate what it is that you hate about it. Because the problem is sometimes people will say things like, well, you're so cringe. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I need actionable feedback if I'm going to improve. So that's my one thing. But basically is, can you please give me actionable feedback on content when it comes up? And if you see one of my videos and you decide not to watch it for whatever reason, could you at least go to the video and tell me what it was about? I don't know, your thumbnail's super boring and uninteresting. There's nothing about this topic that I'm interested in because X, Y, or Z. Or, I didn't understand what this was about. Whatever. Obviously you don't have to do this all the time. This is just, I am trying to reach through the screen and collaboratively we can get to a point where I hopefully feel like I know what you want and I can deliver that to you well. It's always hard to ask for for feedback, because sometimes you hear things that you don't like, Also, if anybody has any particular topics or anything, I think part of the challenge is too, this is a tangents. Y'all are getting unedited Zanny today. But so the other thing is, I think part of the challenge is I'm trying to incorporate a lot of different things, like the mental health stuff and craft stuff and my love of cats. And the reason I wanted to include all of those things was, like, at least mission-wise, in my head, I was thinking that if I'm trying to show that I am someone who has kind of climbed out of the pit of the mental health hell that BPD was, my hope was that these other things, like the cats and the crafting stuff, even if it's not directly mental health related, it shows that I am a person that is beyond, I have interests outside of my own brain and the brains of other people, and that you can be interested in a lot of different things and be good at a lot of different things. But I do think that I'm not sure the best way to combine those things. Like earlier in my videos, I was doing like the cats at the end of every video. And I thought that was a cute idea at first, until I realized that I would have to come up with something interesting about the cats for every one. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I have got hours and hours of footage of my cats, but I was like, how do I make this new and interesting every week? Like, I don't know. And then I've tried making a couple of videos where I'm making something and then talking about a mental health topic over it. I can't tell if those were very good or not. I thought it was an interesting concept because, like, in short form videos, sometimes people like voiceovers while you're doing something because it gives them more to focus on. But I don't know if maybe with the long form videos, it's like too much, because maybe you just want to listen to my voice and you don't want to have to watch the screen the whole time. I don't know. But yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to blend all these things together in a way that's cohesive. And maybe it doesn't have to be cohesive, but I guess I just want to be clear that I'm still figuring this out. I got really good at the BPD Bunch, which is a very specific thing. And Xanabel, this channel, is a whole new animal. So I'm figuring it out. And if you have any thoughts at all, even if they're not totally actionable, if you have vibes, I'm happy to hear those as well. I just prefer actionable, clear feedback because I can actually do something with that more easily. Some of the vaguer comments are sometimes harder to understand what people want. But I have this thought just popped in my head. It's like, when I say like what people want, I'm not like a circus monkey. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not going to put something out there that I can't stand behind. So I guess I just mean, like, given my wheelhouse, what are you hoping to get? So I'm going to try to do Tuesdays every week. That's my goal. New video every Tuesday. As much as I would love to say that I'm committing to that, this is still my side project. And when push comes to shove, the BPD Bunch and my sewing work have to come before this channel. So there may be some kerfuffle here or there, but I'm hoping to avoid random 2-month drop-offs. Maybe it's 3 months. I have no idea. Sorry, I got a phone call and I totally lost my train of thought. So I think I'm just going to leave it there, because this has been, like, we're getting close to 20 minutes of me rambling. Basically, I'm going to try my best to be more consistent with this and not overthink everything, because I don't know how I can sit here and know for sure what y'all want unless you see what I can do, right? So vulnerability, we're just going to put it out there and see what happens, and hopefully we don't crash and burn. And with that, I'm going to go. No cats today. Just know that they're cute and adorable and fluffy, and they're great. Till next time.